You've mastered control where the world can see it, but in the one place that actually matters, control slips. She walks in confident, composed, almost untouchable. Yet somehow, the closer someone gets, the colder she becomes. Or worse, she clings, overgives, overthinks, until everything collapses. This isn't randomness. It's not bad luck in love, and it's definitely not a lack of intelligence. It's a pattern written long before her first relationship, long before success, status, or self-awareness ever entered the picture. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The same psychological wiring that helped her survive early emotional uncertainty is now quietly sabotaging her most important relationships. In this video, you're going to uncover what's really happening beneath the surface. You'll understand why some women push love away the moment it feels real, why others chase validation even when they know better, and how this invisible loop shows up in power dynamics, attraction, and emotional control. More importantly, you'll learn how to read these patterns in real time, so you can stop misinterpreting behavior, stop taking things personally, and start navigating relationships with clarity, precision, and quiet confidence. By the end, you won't just understand women on a surface level. You'll see the hidden architecture behind their choices. And that changes everything. Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And the people who recognize it early are the ones who never get trapped by it again. Before we dive in, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. There's a moment, subtle, almost invisible, when everything is about to go right, and somehow it doesn't. A message goes unanswered. A tone shifts. Distance appears where connection was just beginning to grow. And the strangest part? She feels it happening, and still can't stop it. This is where the pattern reveals itself. On the surface, she is composed, disciplined, high-functioning, the kind of woman who navigates pressure and complexity with precision. But beneath that control lies something far older than success. Early emotional experiences don't disappear. They organize themselves into a hidden script that guides reactions, shapes expectations, and quietly influences who feels safe and who doesn't. When consistency was uncertain, the nervous system learned one rule: connection is unpredictable. From that, two powerful strategies emerge: move closer to secure it, or pull back to avoid losing it. These are attachment patterns, not labels, but adaptive responses that once protected and now repeat automatically. Here's where it becomes more complex. Success doesn't resolve this. In many cases, it masks it. High achievement often becomes a form of emotional compensation, a way to create certainty in a world that once felt emotionally unstable. She builds, excels, expands, and it works externally. But internally, the original equation remains unresolved, because emotional security doesn't respond to achievement. It responds to safety. And safety is something the nervous system either recognizes or questions. This is why a woman can command a room and still feel uncertain in a quiet moment of closeness. Now, the pattern becomes visible. She meets someone grounded, present, different. There's genuine interest, emotional depth beginning to form. But as closeness increases, something shifts. This is the avoidant-anxious loop, a dynamic where the desire for connection coexists with the fear of what connection might cost. She leans in, then withdraws, opens up, then questions it, feels deeply, then protects herself from feeling too much. Not as a conscious choice, but as an automatic regulation strategy shaped long ago. Consider a familiar scenario. She's been seeing someone consistently, the connection is stable, mutual respect is clear. One evening, he shares something vulnerable. For a moment she feels close, safe even, but later a thought appears. Now he sees me differently. The next day, she's slightly distant, replies slower, tone subtly shifts. He senses it and pulls back to give space. Now her system reacts again. Something changed. So she leans in, trying to restore connection. This quiet back and forth continues, not as manipulation, but as an unconscious attempt to balance closeness and self-protection. This isn't abstract theory. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that early caregiving inconsistency is strongly linked to adult relational behavior, especially in high-functioning individuals. Those exposed to unpredictable emotional environments often develop heightened sensitivity to relational shifts, paired with exceptional performance in structured environments. In simple terms, they become highly effective where rules are clear, and uncertain where emotions are not. Neuroscience adds another layer. Elevated cortisol patterns in early development can shape how the brain processes threat and safety. So when closeness increases, the brain doesn't just feel connection, it evaluates risk. This is where triggers become subtle. It's rarely what's said, it's what's felt. A slight delay, a shift in tone, a moment of vulnerability, and the system activates. This is the emotional regulation threshold, the point where emotional intensity becomes difficult to process smoothly. For some, it remains stable. For others, especially those shaped by inconsistency, it fluctuates. So when emotions deepen beyond a certain point, the system doesn't relax, it reacts. This is also why certain partners feel familiar. There's often an unconscious pull toward emotional dynamics that mirror early experiences, not because they are healthy, but because they are recognizable. Consistency can feel unfamiliar. Predictability can feel uncertain. Intensity becomes mistaken for connection, and distance becomes mistaken for value. Until awareness interrupts the cycle, the same patterns repeat with different people. But something changes when awareness becomes precise. She begins to notice when she pulls back, when she overextends, when her reactions don't match reality. Slowly, the shift begins, from automatic reaction to conscious response. Patterns don't disappear instantly, but they can be restructured through repetition, reflection, and choosing stability over intensity, even when it feels unfamiliar. This is where strength evolves into something deeper, not control over outcomes, but clarity within oneself. Not chasing reassurance, but building internal steadiness. Over time, the same situations that once triggered confusion begin to feel manageable, even calm. And here is the part most people miss. The pattern doesn't define her, it explains her. Once something is understood clearly, it can be transformed deliberately. So the next time distance appears where there was closeness or intensity replaces ease, pause. Because what looks like unpredictability is often a system trying to protect itself in the only way it learned. And those who learn to see beyond behavior into the structure behind it are the ones who build something rare. Connection that doesn't collapse under pressure, stability that doesn't depend on constant reassurance, and relationships that don't just begin strongly, but actually last. Your nervous system recognizes something real. True power is calm, not loud. And the rare man who has it? He doesn't chase. He makes her feel safe enough to stop resisting. The video is now on your screen. The rare type of man that makes strong women surrender. Nervous system secrets. Watch it. Like and subscribe.